Welcome to Learning Gym. Today I will talk about addition by regrouping. Basically, I will answer the question, how do you fit an answer that has two digits when you do the column addition method? The first thing to note is that everything remains the same. So the first step is to place the numbers under the correct place value. Let's take, for example, 16 plus 8. In the column method, you place 16 on the top, and then you write a plus. And to determine where to put 8, because it's just a unit or one position, you place it under 6 because that's also a unit or one position. And then you draw two lines. That's the first step. The second step, as before, you add from the smallest place value to the largest. So in this case, we are going to add the ones or unit place value first, followed by the tens. So if we add 6 plus 8, it gives us 14, and that is represented by the numbers 1 and 4. 4 is in the ones or unit position, and 1 is in the tens position. Because 4 is in the ones position, we put it underneath the ones position, so underneath 8. Now what do we do with the number 1? And that's the tens position. What we do is we put it as a subscript, which means a tiny number 1 at the top of the number that is already there in the tens position, which in this case happens to be 1, like so. Now, what this represents here is that in terms of marbles, for example, you are grouping up the 8 and the 2 from the 6 to make 10. So what you're left with 4, and that's in the ones position, and these 10 are now, they're in the tens position. So that's why the 1 goes in the tens position. Well, this is what we end up with. The next step is to, of course, move on to the tens place value. Now we need to add the gigantic 1 plus nothing, which is really 1. But don't forget that we had regrouped 10 marbles onto this place value. So we have a tiny 1 here, which we have to add on to. So it really means it's 1 plus 1, and that would give you 2. Here is a diagrammatic representation of 16 plus 8. As you can see, 16 is represented by yellow marbles, and 8 is represented by blue marbles. So what we have done in the regrouping method is that we have taken 4 marbles from the 8, and we've put them with the 16, with part of the 16, so that it will be 10. So that is called regrouping, or you carry it over to the other group. So that's why we call it regroup or carry over. And so as you can see, 10 marbles here are grouped as 10 marbles, and you add another 10, which contains the regrouped blue marbles, and you have a remainder of 4. So this regrouping part is really what this tiny subscript is about, and that's how you get 24. Let's do another example. 3580 plus 1645. Remember the rules. Place the numbers under the correct place value, and then simply add from the smallest place value to the largest. And you carry over if there are more than one digit in the answer. Here I have written out the column method of 3580 plus 1645 with all the place values neatly in columns. So let's start with adding the ones place value. As you can see, it's 0 plus 5. That would give you 5. Then we're going to add the next biggest place value in the column, and so on and so forth. Now we have 8 plus 4. That is 12. So the rule is only one digit per place value. In this case, the 2 goes under the tens because that's really where it belongs. That's really part of the tens place value. And what do you do with the 1? The 1 will now have to be put together with the hundreds, right at the top of number 5. Now we add the hundreds column. That would be 5 plus 6, and that makes 11. But don't forget the tiny one at the top as a superscript. So 11 plus 1 is 12. So you place the 2 underneath the hundreds and the 1 on the top of the next column, in this case the thousands, and it will go above number 3. And now we add the thousands column. That would be 3 plus 1, which makes 4, and we add the tiny little subscript 1 again to 4, so 4 plus 1 is 5, and that would be the answer. 5,225, 5,225. Here's another example, 3530 plus 8675. It will introduce you to something slightly new. Step 1, we place the numbers under the correct place value. So that would be ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Step 2, we always add from the smallest place value to the largest. In this case, it's 0 plus 5. That would be 5. Step 3, we add the next biggest value, which is the tens column. That would be 3 plus 7, which gives you 10, which is represented by 1 and 0. We put the 0 underneath 7 and we carry over the 1 or regroup it. And next we add the hundreds column, which is 5 plus 6. That would give you 11. And we add the superscript 1, that would give you 12. So that would be 2, and we carry over the 1 onto the thousands position. Now, that would be 3 plus 8, which gives you 11. And we add the tiny superscript, that would give you 12. So now, 12 is represented by 1 and 2. The 2 goes under the 8, and the 1 really goes under the 10,000 position as a superscript. But because there is nothing there, there are no numbers there, we can simply write 1 in front of the 2. Because even if you were to have a superscript and you add 1 plus nothing, that would still give you 1. So that's the answer. 12205. That's it. That's all you have to learn for regrouping, and that's everything you would know for addition. If you do like my tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Till next time, keep practicing. Bye for now.